Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We're talking Monday, March 31st. It's the end of March. Let's hope we end it on with a nice dong day. I'm gonna have 4 home run picks for you guys to lock in for tonight's MLB betting slate. Pretty confident in the 4 that we have for today. As you can see on the screen here, pretty juicy weather for dongs today. We see a lot of green. We see another plus. So I'm pretty confident in what we have on tap for today. But of course, before we can get into today, we do have to do a recap from yesterday. And I say have to. It was an amazing day. We got 3 of our 4 home runs to cash. We were up 3.69 units. That's a very nice number yesterday. Kyle Schwarber was the only one that did not hit a home run for us, but we did get Brandon Lowe, Matt McClain, and Kyle Tucker. Now, unfortunately, that now makes it 2 straight days where we've gotten 3 of 4 guys to hit a home run. Saturday, we got 3 of 4. Yesterday, we got 3 of 4, which is amazing, getting 3 of 4 guys to hit a home run. But that also means that we were just 1 guy away, 2 days in a row, from hitting a 4-leg home run parlay, like $1 to win $1,000, both Saturday and Sunday, if we had just gotten that 4th guy. But we didn't. But I'm certainly not going to complain getting 3 out of 4 home runs to match. It's just been a great run these past 2 days. That now brings our total profit on the year up 4.74 units. Obviously, I play these light, as you can see, quarter of a unit on all of these home run picks because, at the beginning of the year, you don't want to blow your load, blow your bankroll, betting these dongs a little bit too hard. So that's why I've been going light. Last year, the beginning of the year was terrible. This year, it's been amazing. So maybe I don't need to do that. But regardless, 4.74 units, very nice. 110% ROI. That's amazing. And I do just want to do a quick disclaimer, a quick PSA. Those of you that are new to my channel, we've had an amazing run the last 2 days. The expectations should not be that we get 3 of 4 home runs to be hit every single night, right? I just want to set the proper expectations. Yeah, it's been an awesome run, but home runs are a slog, and we're going to have a stretch where we can't get any to hit. Even 2 years ago, which was an amazing season, up 61 units, there was a stretch where I got 25 straight home run predictions wrong. Last year, which was much more of a slog type of season, up 18.5 units or so. The month of April, we were down 20 units alone. So set the expectations right. We're going to have some fun mashing dongs, of course, but it's not going to be a 3 of 4 night every single night. So I just don't want people to be mad at me when we inevitably have a day where we don't do so hot. Luckily, that won't be today. I'm very confident in the 4 that we have for today. And we can get right into it. Just make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So what I have up on the screen here is Ballpark Pal. It's my favorite MLB website. I mean, I use them a lot for home runs, but you can use them for literally anything you can think of when you are looking to bet the MLB. All you need to do is go to ballparkpal.com, and then you can sign up right behind my video, right behind the camera. There is a sign up button for Ballpark Pal. So that's how you sign up. You just subscribe there. But it's an amazing website. I highly recommend checking it out. If you do, it would help me out a ton if you sign up. So they have a monthly and a yearly, and yearly just gives you this entire season. If you just want to go month by month, if you use the promo code MODI10, it gets you 10% off. It's only $10 a month. So I appreciate that they keep it cheap. They don't do any of these crazy subscriptions that are like $200 a month. But you can get 10% off per month if you use MODI10. Or if you want to sign up for the entire season, you can get 15% off if you use MODI15. It would help me out a ton. If you do like Ballpark Pal, if you use my promo code, just helps me out. Let's start talking dongs. As you can see, great weather games for today. And the first one that I have here to hit a home run is in this Rockies versus Phillies game. And I'm going with Bryce Harper to hit a home run. So I got him, I guess I should show you. I got him, Bryce Harper, at plus 350 to hit a home run. This is a list of all the best odds according to Ballpark Pal to hit a home run. I got Bryce at plus 350. I put 0.3 units on this one, as you can see. This is my Tails account where I send all my plays out. For home runs, it's pretty cool. You can link it directly to like the sportsbook. So all you need to do if you're in my Tails account is just click this bet button and it takes you to the bet. But anyways, I got Bryce at plus 350. Normally I put a quarter unit on these guys. I put 0.3 on Bryce because the odds were a little bit low at plus 350. So instead of putting a quarter unit, just a little bit higher at 0.3 units. Now Bryce hit a home run on opening day. He hasn't hit one since, but as you can see, this is the best game from a weather perspective by far for home runs to be hit. So this is basically above average. So 0% would be completely average, right? Neutral conditions for a home run. So this game, the Phillies game, plus 34% above average for a home run to be hit. You want to know why? There are 2 reasons. This wind icon It's windy. And for a lefty like Bryce, their winds are blowing out to right field, which is perfect because Bryce gets a hold of one. The wind's going to help push that out to right field. And that P, I believe, means the the barometric pressure barometer. I'm not honestly sure how to pronounce that. All I know is that bettor for carry is in this Phillies game. And if you go to the Phillies stadium, it's a hitter's park, right? We see that it's a little bit higher, but they got a short left field. So Bryce just needs to get a hold of one a little bit. And that ball is going out of the stadium. As you can see, the short outfields help. And in Bryce, so he didn't hit one yesterday or the day before. He's still hitting the ball really, really hard. So I have a baseball savant here, which is just a really easy way to look at box scores and how guys are hitting. Bryce Harper had a line out, 106.8 miles per hour off the bat, traveled 364 feet, just didn't quite get the launch angle on it, only a 20-degree launch angle. He had another single, 102.8 miles per hour off the bat. Again, didn't have the launch angle, so only 8 degrees, so obviously wasn't even close to leaving the ballpark. But when I look at guys for home runs, I want to look at guys that are hitting the ball above 100 miles per hour, and I want to look at guys that are getting the ball in the air a little bit. So Bryce Harper checks both of those boxes. He hit a home run on opening day, and he's been pretty good from the hard hit department recently, so I feel pretty good about that. And the pitching matchup is very good for Bryce Harper as well. As you can see, strong advantage in favor of Harper. This is per Ballpark Pal, +8. It's cool kind of going through this matchup preview because they kind of give you all the information about why the matchup is the way it is in terms of per Ballpark Pal and how they grade it. Going up against Herman Marquez, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. They show you his release point both horizontally and vertically. Vertically, A+. Horizontally, A. That's good in terms of Bryce. Bryce, when you look at him, his EV is insane. Plus 8.4% above the MLB average in terms of how often he hits above 100 miles per hour. Same thing for the pitcher, plus 6% above 100 miles an hour. That's really good. Looks at launch angle as well. Now, Bryce is kind of, he's average basically across the board. He doesn't really launch the ball at a high or low rate. It's completely average. And it's kind of the same thing for Marquez. The sweet spot here for home runs is this 19 to 38. And they're both basically average. So really no disadvantage or advantage in terms of the launch angle. But you want to look at the pitch type. That's pretty good. A, and then knuckle curve, we don't have any data, A. And Marquez is a C- in those top two categories, which is going to make up 60% of the pitch mix that Harper sees. He crushes the heat, four-seam slider. Harper crushes, which is why you see that A grade there. And it's really interesting. I kind of looked into him because he's barely pitched the last 2 years. And he was a decent pitcher prior to that. But 2023 was his last year as like a full-time starter. He had Tommy John surgery, only made it through 4 starts. Had a home run per 9 of 1.80 in those 4 starts, which is really, really bad. Then he returned last year, only made 1 start, only made 4 innings of that start, gave up a home run in those 4 innings, terrible home run per 9 of 2.29. So it admittedly is a little bit of an unknown in terms of how Marquez is as a pitcher, but a lot of advantages in favor of Bryce, which is why I'm comfortable going with him. So that is our first bet, Bryce Harper to hit a home run. Next up, the next one that I locked in here, and I'm just going in terms of odds, in terms of shortest to highest, is I went right back to Kyle Tucker to hit a home run. So I went Kyle Tucker going up against Joey Estes to hit a home run. That's not it. This one right here. So Kyle Tucker versus Joey Estes. In terms of odds, I should give you that. I sent this out through, again, my Tails account, plus 420. That's a very cool number. Blaze up, plus 420 odds. Another quarter unit play here because obviously, again, the 0.3 was only on Bryce. This one is plus 420. You can see kind of compare the odds on FanDuel versus every other book. So they're giving you the best offered price. So Tucker, he came through for us yesterday with the home run. And what I really like about Kyle Tucker is he consistently gets the ball in the air. Like we go back to Baseball Savant. We look at that Cubbies game. We know that he hit a home run yesterday. Obviously, we like guys that hit home runs. But he just gets the ball in the air. Like he hit his home run, Kyle Tucker. 97.2 feet isn't amazing in terms of what am I looking for? In terms of exit velocity. Obviously, exit velocity. I'm looking for 100 and above. But he just gets the ball in the air. 32-degree launch angle. Got that one home run in 29 of 30 stadiums, 366 feet. He also pulls the ball a lot as well. So it doesn't need to travel as far if it's being pulled to one of the closer to the foul pole. And that's kind of just what it's been like for Kyle Tucker. Like I have up here FanGraphs And I kind of made this custom report, get out of here, on FanGraphs just to look at the hottest hitters over the last 2 weeks. We see Kyle Tucker right here. He's hit 4 barrels. Now, one of these was hit in the Tokyo series, so he's obviously had more games to do that. But we see this right here. Fly ball percentage, 68.4%. I love guys that get the ball in the air in order to hit a home run, and it is a skill. Launching the ball, getting the correct launch angle is absolutely a skill. So that's kind of why you see me mention it a lot, because we want to get guys that can put the ball in the air. I mean, look at Aaron Judge. Obviously, he's like the standard of the standard for home runs. 77.8% fly ball rate, 6 barrels per Judge, but Tucker's good. 21% barrel rate is very, very good. Fly ball rate, 68.4%, very, very good. The matchup, very, very good. +10 extreme advantage in favor of Tucker. It's an A matchup for Kyle Tucker against Joey Estes per Ballpark Pal. It's an F matchup for Joey Estes. It's like both ends of the spectrum here. You go through everything. It looks great for Kyle Tucker. Release point, A-, A. We go to like exit velocity, Kyle Tucker +3% above average and 2% above average from 94 to 99, +3% above average in terms of how often Joey Estes gives up hits above 100 miles per hour. Launch angle. I mentioned that Kyle Tucker is really good at getting the ball in the air. Guess who also allows guys to get the ball in the air? That would be one Joey Estes. Like this is, again, these two are the sweet spot for home runs. +1.6 here, +1.3 on the other side. +2.6 between 29 and 38 degrees, +3% on the other side. It's just a match made in dong heaven, which is what I like to call it. And this pitcher, Joey Estes, is not good. He's not a good pitcher. Looking at his stats last year, home run per 9 of 1.62. That's really, really bad. If you want to look at the leaders in terms of home run per 9, actually I want to go pitching, home run per 9. The pitchers that had the worst home run per 9 in the MLB last year, 1.67 is the worst. The only reason why Joey Estes doesn't appear on this list is because he didn't have enough innings to qualify. Like if we look, instead of qualified, we look at guys that threw at least 120, and I think he was at 127. Yeah. Joey Estes, the 6th worst. 6th worst home run per 9 of guys that threw at least 120 innings. It's a perfect matchup for home runs. I think this is the only game that isn't juicy from a dong perspective. Yeah, it's -13. It's one of the worst games, admittedly, for home runs specifically, which is why we're getting this at +420 as opposed to like +300, because everything else matches up perfectly for Kyle Tucker. I try to avoid these games as much as I can, but I will make exceptions. And I made an exception for Tucker yesterday. You know, that wasn't the best home run weather for Tucker yesterday, and he still mashed one. So I feel good about riding with Tucker still, despite the fact that it's not the best home run weather in the world. That's our second play, Kyle Tucker to hit a home run. The third bet that I am locking in here, I'm actually going right back to Brandon Lowe. I'm taking Brandon Lowe to hit a home run. The best offered price here is +500 odds at DraftKings. Lowe was one of the guys like Tucker that came through for us yesterday, and I feel really good about going right back to him today as well. We look at Brandon Lowe. It's kind of similar to Kyle Tucker. When he gets a hold of the ball, he puts it in the air, and that's the most important thing here. I mean, he absolutely mashed a home run yesterday, 108 miles per hour off the bat, 26 launch angle, that's amazing, 409 feet, that's amazing, home run in 28 of 30 ballparks. Now, his other hard hit wasn't quite mashed. It was still considered a hard hit. Anything 95 miles per hour and above is considered a hard hit. So 97.3 is good. 42-degree launch angle is a little bit too high. If he had gotten that lower, it might have left the stadium because it still traveled 344 feet. But it's similar to Kyle Tucker. I like guys that get the ball in the air. And as you can see here, looking at the same kind of custom report I made, look who's pretty good in terms of barrel rate, which is what I'm looking for here. He has 3 barrels, barrel rate of 30%. Now, obviously, at the beginning of the year, these numbers are going to be wonky. Like 2 weeks from now, nobody's going to have a barrel rate of 30%, except for probably like Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge is just in a class of his own, and like Shohei Ohtani, those two guys. But he's barreling the ball up. He's hitting the ball incredibly hard. I mean, when he gets contact, 90% hard hit rate is absolutely insane. And he's one of those guys that either hits a home run or he strikes out. And I'm perfectly fine with those guys when I'm asking them to hit a home run. So he mashed one yesterday. He had 2 hard hits. One of them was the one that he hit 108 miles per hour. And if you go back 2 days ago, which is why I was on him yesterday in the first place, we go back to the Tampa Bay game. He had 5 hard hits 2 days ago. So the guy's seeing the ball incredibly, or 4, excuse me, he had 4. You click box score on Baseball Savant, you see hard hits. He had 4. and like the exit velocity on the balls that he hits, 111, 20-degree launch angle isn't bad, 342 feet. Same game, 106 miles per hour, 28-degree launch angle, 357. This one probably should have been a home run. He just hit it to dead center, so there's no chance it would actually have left the ballpark, but he's getting it in the air, and he's hitting it hard. And then a single, 19-degree launch angle, 305 feet. Again, he just needed to get it a little bit higher, but he's still lifting it a little bit, and 103 miles per hour off the bat. I mean, 3 separate hits 2 days ago above 100 miles per hour is crazy. Follow that up with a home run yesterday, which is exactly what we're looking for. The only really negative thing here with Brandon Lowe is the pitching matchup is pretty interesting. So this guy, Carmen Malinsky, I'm not honestly sure how to pronounce his name. He has historically been a reliever. This is literally the first time of his career where he's being a starting pitcher. He's the 5th starter for the Pirates. So he's not a bad pitcher when he's in relief. Like, he's got pretty good numbers. He doesn't give up a ton of home runs. I doubt he's going to go that deep in the game, and it's possible that being a starter, going longer in games, his stuff isn't quite as good as the day goes on, so his home run stuff isn't quite as good as it looks. And what I really like here is if we go to the home run zone per Ballpark Pal, we look at bullpens. Guess who's the second worst bullpen for home runs? Best second worst home runs. Maybe I looked at it wrong. I thought it was the Pirates. When I looked at it last time, I thought it was the Pirates at the second worst. Now they're down to 6th worst. So it's not quite as good as I thought it was when I initially looked at this morning. I guess something must have changed, or maybe I just looked at it wrong. But either way, Pirates bullpen below average, 4 home runs is really all that we're looking for. When we look at the entire season, expected home runs per game, the Pirates, they're average. 0.38 is kind of in the middle of the pack. But I like this one for Brandon Lowe a lot. He's been hot, and this is another good weather game, right? It's the second best weather game of the day. 4 home runs to be hit, plus 19%. Not quite as good as 34%, but plus 19% is pretty good. Wind's blowing out. It's hot. It's humid. It's perfect for home run weather. This is also a new field, Steinbrenner Field. Is a little bit of a hitter's park for lefties, which Brandon Lowe is. He's a left-handed hitter, so it's a shorter fence here. So all in all, pretty good for Brandon Lowe, and he came through for us yesterday. Why not come through for us once again today? And then our last pick of the video, we're taking Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run against Michael Soroka. Vlad hasn't hit one yet, but there are a ton of factors in favor of Vlad. Number one, part of this is kind of a trust play, trusting Ballpark Pal. Vlad has the best odds to hit a home run per Ballpark Pal. They price him at plus 326. FanDuel's at plus 520 as the best offered price. So this is the exact bet that I locked in here. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. plus 520 odds to hit a home run. I put a quarter unit on him as well. As you can see, Vlad at plus 520, and you're still able to get that price. It hasn't changed. Sometimes when I start recording, the price is different. Luckily, that's not the case here, but a quarter unit on Vlad to hit a home run. So he has not hit one yet this year, but I do think that there is a good reason for him, or I should say, there's logic for him to hit one tonight. So we're looking at, where is the Blue Jays game? Did they play yesterday? They did. I was going to say. So we look at Vlad. The biggest issue for Vlad in his career has been launch angle, right? He absolutely mashes the baseball. Like if we look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and we look at exit velocity, 13% above 100 miles per hour. He just crushes it. Everything else is low. He just hits absolute nukes. The issue with him has always been his launch angle, right? We see the sweet spot for home runs, minus 2%. We see like below 10% and negative 10 to 0 in terms of launch angle, plus 8%. That's always been his biggest issue in his career, is lifting the ball in the air. The good news is he had 3 hard hits yesterday. 2 of them he absolutely mashed, 108, 107 miles per hour off the bat. Launch angle wasn't high enough in terms of what we need, but at least it was in the positive, 7 and 13. And then he had another hard hit that was a fly out that was perfect for exactly what we're looking for. 98.8 feet. Words are hard. Exit velocity, 29-degree launch angle. He just didn't pull it. Traveled 374 feet, but it was to center field, so there's no way that it was leaving the ballpark. But I like the fact that he did get a hard hit and he got the launch angle. So he just needs to get it up. It's the biggest issue with Vlad. When he hits home runs, normally they're off of line drives that he just absolutely annihilates. When he's got a great opportunity to do so. Vlad has always been among the league leaders in terms of hard hit baseballs. Now, the pitching matchup is very interesting. Michael Soroka is mostly a opener. Like, if we look at his game log from last year, I think this is the first appearance that he's had. Sometimes FanGraphs takes a while to load, so we might have to wait here for a little bit. Either way, he's a dong guy, right? Pitched last year for the White Sox. 1.47 home run per 9 is pretty bad. It's not quite as bad as Joey Estes, the guy that we just talked about, but 1.47 is pretty bad. And like I mentioned, he's an opener, so he's probably gonna pitch like 3 innings. If this page would load, if FanGraphs would load, it would show you that his game log is typically between like 2 and 3 innings. So Vlad is probably only gonna get, there we go, it finally started loading. Vlad's only probably gonna get 1-2 at bats against this guy. I think the most he went was 4 innings, and he went 5.1, 5 a couple times. Maybe he'll get a second at bat. Regardless, definitely a dong ball guy, which is exactly what we're looking for. And the Nats bullpen also got annihilated by the Phillies. Now, they did a good job yesterday specifically, but the first 2 games, the Phillies just hit nukes off of the Nats bullpen. So I'm not really scared off of that. If it ends up being not off of Michael Soroka. But Vlad to hit a home run, again, it's part of it is a trust tree play with how highly he's rated per Ballpark Pal. And then you look into it, and a lot of it makes sense. And another thing I like to look at, so you can look at the odd screen. You can also look at batter versus pitcher matchups, and you go to all hitters. We're looking at the model. This is per Ballpark Pal. Guys that are most likely to hit a home run. Number 1, Kyle Tucker, 6% chance roughly of hitting a home run. Number 2, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 5.8% chance of hitting a home run. And then Brandon Lowe's number 4, our third pick, 5.5% chance to hit a home run. And then Bryce is a little bit lower. So Bryce is still likely to hit a home run. He's still kind of high on the list, but this one is more so unknown with the starting pitcher and super juicy weather game, which is why I was comfortable going with Bryce. Very likely to hit a home run. But that's all we got. So 4 official guys for you to hit a home run. Let me just do a quick recap, and then we'll get on out of here. I do put them all in a parlay. So if for whatever reason, there we go, the legs. So we got Kyle Tucker to hit a home run. We got Bryce Harper to hit a home run. We got Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run. Brandon Lowe to hit a home run as well. Now, the best offered for the parlay was on FanDuel. The best offered price for Brandon Lowe specifically was DraftKings. The other 3 were best offered on FanDuel. So I literally put like $1.50 on this parlay. We got 3 of 4 yesterday. Let's try to get 4 of 4 today. If we get all 4, let's see how much we would profit if we get all 4. Not including the parlay, we profit 4.65 units if we go 4 for 4 on home runs. But that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Check out Ballpark Pal if you are interested in seeing, or if you want to check them out, use the promo codes MODI10 for the month, MODI15 for the year. And then check out my Tails account if you want to get everything that I'm playing sent to you. This is also only $10 a month for everything that I'm playing. So if you want to get stuff in before the odds change, or you don't always care to watch the YouTube videos, Tails is where I send everything out. And you kind of see how it works, right? Like the home runs you can place directly through the app. I also send my NBA player props through my Tails as well. And if I can't send it through the app, then this is how it comes over. I kind of recap the play, the units, the actual bet, and then a screenshot of the slip so you can kind of see that it actually exists and that I'm actually betting it. Pretty good NBA day yesterday as well, 2-0. But regardless, that is all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one.